Have you ever wondered what's going on behind the scenes to make the internet, well, work? The silent guardians that keep websites fast, safe, and just there when you need them? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on one of the biggest players in that space, a company whose tech you probably use every single day without even realizing it. We're talking about Cloudflare. And trust me, by the end of this, you're going to see the web in a whole new light.
You know the feeling, right? You click a link and boom, a site just appears on your screen, instantly. But then you click another one and you could seriously go brew a pot of coffee in the time it takes to load. So what's the deal? What's the secret sauce that makes one site fly and another one crawl? And then there's this other thing, a huge, hidden battle that's happening all the time. Every single second, websites are getting hammered by bots and hackers who are trying to steal your data or just crash the site completely. So how in the world do the biggest sites on the internet just shrug it all off? Well, it turns out the answer to both of these questions is often the exact same thing.
So let's meet Cloudflare. The easiest way to think about it is like a guardian, or maybe a really smart bouncer for a website. It stands at the digital front door. Now, the official techie term for this is a reverse proxy, but don't let that scare you. All it really means is that instead of your computer talking directly to a website, you talk to the bouncer first. And that bouncer, Cloudflare, is the one who decides who gets in and how fast.
And this right here shows you everything. Look, on the left, that's the old way. Your request goes all the way from your computer straight to the website server. Simple, but slow and vulnerable. Now look at the right. With Cloudflare, your request hits its massive global network first, and then Cloudflare talks to the server for you. This one simple little change in the route your data takes, well, it unlocks two incredible superpowers.
All right, let's talk about that first superpower. Just pure, unadulterated speed. Cloudflare's main job is to make websites load faster, period. It wants to slash the time it takes for a page to get from some server out there all the way to your screen. And the way it does this is pretty brilliant.
The secret ingredient here is something called a CDN, which stands for Content Delivery Network. Okay, so instead of a website's files living in just one place, like a central library, imagine Cloudflare creating hundreds of mini-libraries all over the world. It basically makes copies of all the website stuff, the images, the code, everything, and stores those copies in its data centers everywhere.
And this is exactly why that's a game changer. So let's say a website's main server is sitting in, California. Before Cloudflare, if you were in Nigeria, your request had to travel all the way across the Atlantic Ocean to get the data. But with Cloudflare, you just get that data from a much, much closer server in Africa. That shorter physical distance, that's the difference between waiting for a site to load and just, wow, it's already there.
And the results of this are, frankly, staggering. Just by closing that physical gap, websites using a CDN can see their load times drop by anywhere from 30 to 60%. That is a huge deal in the internet world.
But wait, there's more. The CDN is just the beginning. Cloudflare also runs one of the fastest DNS services on the planet. That's basically the internet's phone book. It also uses smart caching, which is like having a great short-term memory, so it doesn't have to bother the main server with the same questions over and over. And it does load balancing, acting like a traffic cop to make sure no one server gets totally overwhelmed. It's really the whole package for speed.
Okay, so speed is awesome, but let's get to that second superpower, which might be even more important. Let's look at how this guardian protects the websites you use every day from all the bad stuff out there. This is where Cloudflare stops being a speed booster and becomes an ironclad shield.
So one of the biggest, baddest threats out there is called a DDoS attack. The idea is brutally simple. Attackers just send an insane amount of junk traffic to a website. We're talking millions of fake requests a second until the server just gives up, overloads, and crashes. And when that happens, the site is offline for everyone.
But remember, Cloudflare is standing in front of the real server, so it just acts like a giant sponge. That massive flood of malicious traffic, it hits Cloudflare's network first. Cloudflare's system is smart enough to see all that junk traffic, filter it out, and just drop it. Only the real, legitimate visitors get through. The actual website, it never even knows it was under attack.
And it's not just about stopping those big, noisy floods of traffic. Cloudflare also has what's called a Web Application Firewall, or a WAF. You can think of this like a really smart, really suspicious security guard who inspects every single person, every request that tries to get in, looking for known troublemakers or hacking techniques.
So, for example, a hacker might try to sneak a nasty little piece of code into a login form, hoping to trick the database into giving up all of its secrets. Well, the WAF is trained to see the signature of that attack, and it just says, nope, and blocks the request on the spot. The attack is over before it even begins.
And the security toolkit just keeps on going. You know that little padlock icon in your browser that says a site is secure? Yeah, Cloudflare provides that for millions of sites, for free. All that annoying spam you get in website contact forms, it stops the bots that do that. It can even stop hackers from trying to guess your password 1,000,000 times. It's really a comprehensive shield.
So, you hear about all this incredible speed, incredible security. You might be wondering, okay, but who is this actually for? And the answer is pretty much anyone and everyone with a website. From a tiny personal blog to a massive global company, let's see how they use it.
So if you're a blogger, you can get that massive speed boost and the security certificate to look professional, often for free. But if you're an e-commerce store, you absolutely need that WAF and DDoS protection to make sure you never go offline and lose sales. Big corporations, they use it for advanced stuff like zero-trust security. And app developers rely on it to protect their APIs. It really scales to fit any need.
You see the common thread here, right? It doesn't matter who you are or what you're doing. The end result is a website or an application that is just fundamentally better. It's faster for your users, it's safer from all the bad guys, and it's way more reliable when things get crazy. So let's just boil it all down. What are the key takeaways? First, you get blazing speed, thanks to that global network. Second, you get ironclad security that acts like a shield. And when you put those two together, what you get is rock-solid reliability. And believe it or not, for many companies, this actually ends up saving them a ton of money. It's the whole shebang.
So the next time you click a link and a website just magically appears, or you read a news story about some massive cyber attack that was stopped dead in its tracks, there's a really good chance that this invisible guardian was working behind the scenes. This isn't just some neat tool. It's become a core part of how the modern internet actually functions.
And look, if you need any more proof, just look at some of the names that rely on it every single day. From binge-watching your favorite shows on Netflix, to buying something on Shopify, to chatting with your friends on Discord. Yeah, a huge slice of your online life is made faster and safer because this guardian is always on duty. Pretty amazing for something you never even see,